On today's episode
of Bed Bath and Beyond.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
We're not doing this.
Oh my god.
Go ahead. No, I'm done.
On today's episode of Bed Bath and Beyond. 119. That's a lot of episodes. I'm tired of this. We're going to talk about football because what else is there to talk about? No other sports happen. Basketball fans don't exist. We learned that last week.
Yeah, we don't care about basketball right now. We will care about basketball, just not right now.
We have to, yeah. I guess let's jump into it.
There we got the Ravens game. We've got the Ravens game to talk about. If you're listening to this, the Ravens game already happened. However, for us, we're going to talk about the Ravens game. Okay,
yeah, we're going to preview it. Some might say.
We're going to preview it. I don't even want to recap any of last week. I think we should just spend the entire.
What? No,
I think we should spend the entire this episode, previewing the Thursday night game that would have already happened for our viewers.
I think that would
just spend all 60 minutes previewing the Dolphins-Ravens game.
I think people would really like that.
I think so.
Let's jump into it.
3, 2, 1, go. I am Ian Peacock.
And I am Andy Heidemann. And I hate sports betting. No matter what you say, I'm betting 100 on it tonight. I need you to vamp for like 5 seconds.
All right, I will vamp. Well, first off, let's talk about the Ravens-Dolphins game that hasn't happened yet.
You want to start with that?
Has already happened by the time people watch this episode, okay? The Ravens are an unstoppable force of offense.
So you're calling your shot.
I mean, of course the Ravens are going to win. Are we really?
Yeah, I mean, I've got them winning, obviously.
Do you have them winning with the spread?
What is the spread? I actually don't know. I think it's like 7.5.
It was 7.5 when I looked.
I actually, if Tua is playing, I'm not going to take the spread. If Tua's out, I'm definitely taking the spread.
Even if he does play, he's playing with like a broken finger or something. So why? I don't think it matters.
He's Tua. He's the greatest of all time.
Shut the fuck up. I can't believe you just said that. But Jacoby Brissett is kind of a clown, right?
Mr. Brisket. He's fine.
I don't think he's fine at all. And what are you even doing, Andrew? Why are you paying attention?
I'm posting to the B3T Sports Instagram.
My mic settings are off the charts right now. I need to lower them.
It's perfect time. Okay, I'm set. Yeah, I'm set.
As we're already recording, I'm adjusting my mic settings. Fuck you. How about you actually pay attention to our podcast?
I'm engaged. I'm 110% engaged.
Okay, so do we have to recap last week?
Yeah, we're going to recap last week. Although, we don't have to start with that. We could just do random bullshit. Like, do you have sports stuff just randomly that you want to talk about? Because I figured this is the time. Let's do it really quick before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show. I'm trying to think if there's any sports-related stuff like that is maybe not mainstream sports stuff, but like I feel like I don't get any news during the NFL season that isn't football stuff. Like, do you ever get anything that's like,
actually I do. I listen to Dan Patrick and they talk about,
oh, that's right.
He likes basketball. So he talks a lot about basketball and I really tune him out, but a lot of people,
white noise.
Right. A lot of people love to talk about Ben Simmons. And
yeah, he's not playing right now, is he?
No, he's like holding out for the 76ers and he's terrible. Like he's terrible for the team. Usually when you hold out as a player, you have to be good and your team actually needs you, right? And you're holding out because they haven't paid you what you're worth.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the opposite of the situation for Ben Simmons. From what I hear, again, I tune people out when they talk about this because I don't care about basketball right now. But according to my sources, Ben Simmons is holding out because he wants to be traded, I guess. But the 76ers paid him a shit ton of money, and he's also really bad, so they really don't need him. And they're looking for a trade. I don't know if they found someone. I know the Celtics were in talks, but I have no idea.
Well, I know when this originally was happening, because we both listened to Pardon My Take, and they used to talk about this quite a bit, and it was funny, like, when you hold out, obviously you're not in the building, like you're staying home, you're not. And both the guys from Pardon My Take are like, well, the one place Ben Simmons should be is in the office working because he's fucking terrible. He's bad at shooting. He's like, he doesn't know how to play basketball. So like, you'd think that for a guy who wants a better future, that would be his play. But I mean, whatever. Again, no one watches basketball, so it really doesn't matter all that much.
No,
it doesn't matter. Before we hop into the rest of the stuff, I know on the last episode we talked about my 10-team parlay. You wanted Alec to run some stats about like my picks because I said 4 right on a parlay is the worst I'd ever done, and you're like, oh, that's actually kind of
that is really good if that actually is true.
That is correct.
What do you mean?
I've got that. So I went back through my history and I found all the 10-team parlays I made last year, and I went through and made sure with all the 10-team parlays I made this year, 4 correct out of 10 is the worst I've ever done.
I mean, I feel like that's really good, right?
My all-time record on all picks for this year, for 2021, is I am 115 and 60. I actually scratched that. I'm 121 and 69.
Okay, well, can you just give me a percentage?
Yeah, I can after I fucking
do 121 times.
I'm in the spreadsheet right now, so that's why it's
times 169 divided by 1,000, and that should give you your percentage.
63.16%.
See, that's pretty good. Now, people need to remember as they're listening to this, because anything above 60% is amazing
profitable
for sports betting, right?
Yeah. If you were to bet on every single game that I've picked, you'd have an ROI of just 4%.
Okay, well, that's what I was going to say, because you're actually not doing spreads. That's where that
right.
60% becomes really fucking nice.
And also, I'm not betting all of these games. This is just my record on the picks. Like, I'm betting.
You wouldn't have any money.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, like I said, the ROI is 3.98%. So it's
you wouldn't have any money.
Well, so here's the thing.
Stop it.
If Andrew. Let me just make sure that this is correct. Okay. If you take my parlays from last season, my record is 151 and 91, which is 61% sample size, and that's about 271 picks.
Okay, look, I'm done gloating or stroking your ego for your 10-team parlay. Yeah. Like I said, the worst being 4 out of 10. That's very good, Andrew. I'm impressed.
It is very. If only I could fucking translate that to spreads.
Well, yes. So let's actually talk about let's get the recap over with, because I'm gonna have to rack my brain on what even the Thursday night game last week was, and
it was Jets Colts, baby.
Yes, it was Jets Colts, and I believe I'm so bad, Andrew. I am so bad at picking the spread for Thursday night games. I swear to God that, in fact, I'm actually kind of hesitant because obviously the Ravens game is tonight, and I'm going to pick
Ravens.
Thursday night. And it's Thursday night. So, of course, I'm going to pick Ravens 7.5 to cover. That actually worries me because I am so bad picking the Thursday night game spread that part of me just wants to pick the Dolphins to cover because I know I'm going to be wrong. Right. If that,
that's emotional hedging, you know. I tell you what.
No. It's not emotional hedging because the Ravens, I believe, will still win. There's no doubt in my mind that the Ravens will win tonight. However, I do want to pad my score, and if I am fucking atrocious at picking the Thursday night game, maybe I should be aware of it. You know the definition of
maybe I should be aware of it.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
That's
well,
true.
Maybe I should change my strategy if I'm really this bad at picking the Thursday night game.
Or you could just lean into the whole insanity thing.
That is also an option, and
I've seen people do that.
Well, it's on the table. It's definitely on the table. Now, going back to last Thursday's night game with the Colts and the Jets, one thing that I need to say, I thought Mike White was going to play the whole game. He got hurt. He got hurt very early on. And that's going to be my excuse on why I was so wrong about the Jets.
But their backup still did pretty good.
No,
I mean,
he did not.
I mean, his stat lines were fine.
His stat lines were fine because there was a lot of garbage time.
But I mean, like, you're a third string QB in the NFL. You're gonna come away from that game and you're gonna be like, I did what I fucking could. Also, can we talk about the Jets trading for Joe Flacco and then not even having him active, so that way when their third string quarterback had to go in, it wasn't Joe Flacco? How insane is that?
Is Joe Flacco actually? Is he hurt? I feel like there's always something wrong with his back.
I don't know. I know he was traded for. Like, they went out and traded for him when Zach Wilson went down, so that way they'd have a competent backup behind Mike White. Then Mike White got hurt in this last game, and we found out that Joe Flacco wasn't even on the active roster.
Well, here's the thing about Joe Flacco. He's an elite quarterback.
No.
He's an elite quarterback, Andrew, and honestly, he probably is going to retire and just go into the Hall of Fame.
I don't think. Do you think he makes Hall of Fame? That's actually
real talk. No, he does not make the Hall of Fame.
I don't think he does, right?
No, of course not.
But I mean, how many quarterbacks have a Super Bowl ring and don't end up in the Hall of Fame?
I'm sure a lot.
I'm really curious about that. Because there's a difference between first ballot and like just making it in general.
Well, so Nick Foles will not be in the Hall of Fame, right? But the reason
he'll be
why
in Canton, but he won't be in the Hall of Fame.
Sure, but the reason why the Eagles won was because of Nick Foles, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe he should be. Maybe you're changing my mind.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing. I know Joe.
We're just having a conversation.
Joe Flacco was the king of playoffs. Like his playoff record back in the day, peak Joe Flacco was amazing. But during the regular season, he just wasn't good enough, I don't think, to make the Hall of Fame. If there was a Hall of Fame of just playoff performances, Joe Flacco would be in the Hall of Fame.
Eli Manning.
Well,
Eli Manning might make it anyway. I mean,
Eli Manning will make it because he has 2 Super Bowl rings
against Tom Brady.
Well, here's the thing. I wonder how many quarterbacks have 2 or more Super Bowl rings that have not made it. Yeah,
I would be curious to know that as well. But anyway, Colts win.
Jonathan
Taylor's a menace. Like Jonathan Taylor, is. I want to actually let me double check.
Even Hines had a game.
Hines went off too. I mean, he had the one really long run, but even if you took that out, he still caught I want to say 5 balls. He had 60 yards. I mean,
Jonathan Taylor went off though. The Colts killed the Jets. It wasn't even close. And yes, I know you're saying your third string backup came in the best he could, but it was never in question. It was never in question.
So these are Jonathan Taylor's rushing yards per game since October 3rd. 103, 53, 145, 107, 70, 172.
Wow.
That's great.
Yes, Andrew, we get it. You love Jonathan Taylor. You have Jonathan Taylor on your dynasty football team.
True.
And so
I have him in 2 dynasty leagues.
I know you're hot on him. You're so hot for Jonathan Taylor. You need to get a room with Jonathan Taylor.
If he'd have me. All right, Atlanta played the Saints. Falcons won. I don't know how. The Saints look bad. I mean, obviously they lost.
Well, they don't have famous Jameis. That's how.
Right, and Michael Thomas decided that there was a setback, so he's not going to play this season. Granted, Atlanta doesn't have Ridley either, but I mean, Kyle Pitts did Kyle Pitts things. I mean,
Cordell Patterson.
Atlanta currently holds a playoff seed.
I'm fine with that.
That's disgusting.
No, listen. I'm fine with that because the Falcons on paper are a good team. Matt Ryan's listen.
Okay.
Matt Ryan's a good quarterback. They have weapons, offensive weapons. Cordell Patterson on the ground. They have Kyle Pitts, who they got early in the first round. They have, well, not anymore, but they had Ridley, who's he's a top wide receiver. I don't the Falcons on paper should be good.
I definitely think they should be better than they've been. Granted, again, without Ridley, it's tough. But when the season started, I was like, they could actually be pretty all right, and they've kind of disappointed. Denver and Dallas, that was a fucking upset. The Denver destroyed Dallas. I mean, Dak had some garbage time if you had him in fantasy, but really, I don't know. Dallas is weird. I think they're going to bounce back. I don't think Dallas is a bad team. They're getting Michael Gallup back this week as well.
Thank God. I have him on my dynasty, and I just moved him out of IR.
Dude, he got hurt in week 1, and everyone's like, oh, man, that sucks. I guess we'll see him in a couple weeks. And now we're into week 10. He's coming off IR. How fucking dumb is that?
It's actually crazy because the season has blown by. It's already week 10. That's insane.
I know it. But Broncos win it. Good for them. Everyone in that division, like Denver, the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Chargers, everyone has 5 wins, which is kind of crazy when I think about it because the Chiefs have played like shit. The Raiders, I feel like, have been playing good, but they just lost to the Giants.
The Raiders had a hot start, Remember, they won like their first 4 games, and Derek Carr had like 400 yards back to back games. Like it was very hot. And I remember because the Ravens were the first team they beat, and I was pissed off. But then I was like, oh wait, the Raiders actually might be legit. And then they fell off.
I don't even think here's what I think the Ravens have a problem in the sense
the Ravens
that,
do not have a problem.
No,
what the
they
fuck
do.
Is wrong with you?
The Ravens purposefully like go down in games so that they can come back and like make ESPN highlights.
Okay,
I'm
fine.
almost certain.
Listen to this. All right. I'm going to save all my Ravens talk for our preview of tonight's game. But I will say you are right. The Ravens do have one big gaping problem, and that is their defense is number 1 in the league, letting up huge plays on defense. Like there's actually a real stat. Part of my take might have said it, or Dan Patrick, one of those are the only 2 podcasts I listen to, but one of those 2 people said that the Ravens are number 1 in the league of letting up 20 or more yards and 40, and then even like 40 or more yards. Like it's not even close. Like the Ravens defense has let up all of these big yard plays. And I mean, I remember, we've seen it in person. With the Travis
we walked in that stadium and there's one too, the Travis Kelce
touchdown, the Byron Pringle touchdown. Obviously when the Ravens played the Bengals, Jamar Chase had an insane touchdown that was like 70 plus yards. The Ravens defense loves to give up big yard plays.
Okay, let's see. So New England and Carolina. I mean, I had New England winning. I mean, I took Carolina in the pick'em, but I mean, in my 10-team parlay, I had New England winning.
Hey, Andrew.
New England's better than Carolina. Carolina is bad, and Sam Darnold needs to retire.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, what?
Are you excited?
Am I excited for Cam Newton?
Are you excited for Cam Newton, Andrew?
I actually am, and I'll tell you why. He can't.
The prodigal son returns.
He can't be worse than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has a shoulder injury, like he has a chipped scapula, so he's out for like 4 weeks anyway.
I didn't like that word.
Scapula?
Like a chipped scapula. What the fuck does that even mean?
Scapula is your shoulder blade.
Oh, he chipped it?
Yeah.
Does it grow back?
I don't know. You know that scene in Harry Potter where she makes him drink the bone juice because his arm is like a noodle?
Yeah, he's like, growing bones is a nasty business.
And he spits it out all over his friends.
Well, what do you expect? Pumpkin juice?
Yeah, you seemed like you were unsure. That was the line. We just watched that movie the other night. So,
what do you expect? Pumpkin juice?
So I think that I'm so down with Cam being there. I didn't think the Carolina would do it because there's nothing for them to do except eat crow. I mean, like if they sign him and he's washed, they're going to be like, okay, yeah, we told you he was washed, but like, okay, you signed a washed up quarterback. Like what's wrong with you? Right. And if he balls out, they're going to go like, I don't know why we let him go for nothing and decided we'd trade a 2nd round pick for Sam Darnold. That was kind of peculiar. So I don't understand from what he will do, regardless of wins or losses. Cam Newton will sell tickets for Carolina.
For sure. Now, is he starting this week?
No, this week he is not starting. They've got to get him like figured out into the offense, and PJ Walker will start this week. Okay. But I'm all about it. I've just assumed the season's over anyway. If Cam Newton comes in and wins this, can you even actually fathom the storyline? Cam Newton comes back. We go undefeated the rest of season with Cam Newton under center. So we'll say we lose this week, but then we make a playoff run and he actually gets himself a Super Bowl. He'd have to retire, right?
Right.
I think that would be the only way to but that's like such a Cinderella story. It won't happen. There's no possible way that happens, but I mean, it's literally impossible. Okay. Anyway, Minnesota. Or did you have a follow-up?
No, I did not have a follow-up.
All right, Minnesota, Baltimore. Minnesota was crushing Baltimore in the first half, and then Baltimore decided that they wanted to play football, and the Vikings do what they've done all season, and they can't finish a damn game. Baltimore did what they've done all season, and they finish a game like 1.5 times speed at the end. What did you think of the game?
You summed it up pretty perfectly. The Vikings, basically, they lose this way, and the Ravens win this way. I'm very glad that the Ravens are coming back from behind. We are destroying that narrative that was planted maybe a season or two ago that Lamar Jackson can't come back from a deficit. I mean, it was always about Lamar had to get a lead in front of him for him to be successful.
It's true.
He's completely turning that narrative on its head this season because he has 4 wins from double digit, but deficits. And I love that narrative getting destroyed. So honestly, it is stressful in the moment. It's
yeah, I bet
it's definitely stressful watching these games. But at the end of the day, wins are all that matters.
Yeah,
and
how exciting are the wins too? Because like when they're comeback wins, like they're adrenaline wins too. It's like let's
it's
go.
Awesome. It's fucking awesome. Now that being said, I do want us to destroy the Dolphins tonight. I want to destroy the Dolphins.
Sure.
I don't want every game to be super close, but the fact that he's destroying the narrative is it's 2 birds, 1 stone.
Was it 3 years ago when the opening game of the season was Baltimore versus the Miami Dolphins, and Lamar had 2 like 50+ yard passing touchdowns to Hollywood Brown?
That was 2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago.
That was his MVP season in 2019.
Ah, yes. I remember we watched that game together, and it was like, I mean, there was no shutting you up, obviously, because your team was destroying. But now I remember that very, very fondly for Lamar.
Now, here's something I want to bring up, okay? And I was going to save it for the preview, but we're already kind of in the weeds of it. Who is leading the MVP race this season? We're already week 10, so I don't think it's crazy to start talking about it.
Are you asking me who I think is doing it, or are you?
I would say your top 3 candidates right now, week 10. Who do you think is leading MVP conversations?
Top 3 candidates are probably, in no order: Lamar, Tom Brady, Kyler. I mean, especially with Henry out, I probably would. Kyler's like been hurt, so it's like I feel like we haven't like brought up his name. Stafford still has great stats. Like he is actually trending in that direction. He had a really bad game this last week, the worst game he's played this season. And Josh Allen has not played very well the last week either. So it's just, I know Tom Brady and I know Lamar Jackson are definitely on that list.
I would agree with those 2. I really think it's those 2. I know I said top 3. That was kind of a trap. Not really a trap. I just wanted to see who you would say because I can't think of anybody other than Lamar, and I'm biased with Lamar, but I think that he is in the conversation, and Tom Brady, just because I feel like Tom Brady's always in the conversation every year. But Aaron Rodgers hasn't really been playing like he has last season. I wouldn't say maybe Kyler. I haven't really watched the Cardinals that much, and he is hurt right now. Patrick Mahomes definitely isn't in the conversation this year.
No, and not at all.
I wouldn't, maybe Josh Allen, but we'll get to their game. But I mean, he looked terrible this past week.
He did look terrible. I'm also trying to find the DraftKings player futures for MVP, and I don't think that they're out yet. So most interceptions thrown, most receptions, regular season record breakers. There's team futures. That's just Super Bowl winners. Tampa Bay is leading Super Bowl with plus 550. That's not a surprise.
Whatever.
I mean, I do want to look that up for the next pod because I'm actually very curious to see.
I'm just saying that if Lamar continues to, I mean, he doesn't even really need to win games from behind, but if he kind of steps on the throat of his opponents, like the Dolphins and like teams that he should beat, I think he could easily get ahead as the clear favorite for MVP. I think it's Lamar's MVP to lose at this point, and we're already more than halfway through the season. So again, I don't think we're too early to talk about this.
Watch out for Tua now.
I don't think we're too early to talk about this, but he's already done some amazing things this season. And I think that if he continues just to do half of what he's done, he'll be in that conversation at the end of the season.
Let's go to Cleveland, Cincinnati. Browns like absolutely dominate the
Bengals.
Dude.
The Browns killed the Bengals. I thought the Bengals were good, mostly because they killed us.
I think they are good. People also
it's any given Sunday.
It's any given Sunday, and certain defensive schemes versus certain offensive schemes, like compare better. It's another week though in the NFL where OBJ is not on the Browns, and the Browns have a fucking stellar game. By the way, did you see OBJ got signed?
I did not. Okay, well, I was going to ask you, where do you think he's going to end up? Everyone's saying, don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet. Everybody's saying Seattle, but don't tell me yet. Don't tell. Did you just
okay.
Okay.
I'm
no, that's it. No, it's too late. You gave me your hand. I could
Did
tell.
I? Oh, where'd he go?
Seattle.
No.
Good. Okay, but look. Listen, I'm glad because everyone was saying Seattle, and I was like, I don't want him in Seattle.
I don't think it makes sense.
It doesn't make sense. They have DK, they have Lockett. First off, can we talk about how Pete Carroll doesn't even let Russ cook? So
right, I don't know why they would want him.
So let me get this straight. You add Odell, you add another offensive wide receiver weapon, but we're going to continue to run the ball on second and third down, right? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, tell me who he went. Tell me where he went.
He signed with the Rams.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, he did. It just came through before the podcast started.
Oh my god! Well, for what? What was the trade?
It was no trade. The Browns released.
You're right. You're right.
So, now I don't know the specifics of the contract yet, but I mean, no one picked him up off waivers, which would have cost $7.1 million. So I mean, I can assume that it would probably be less than that. It might be vet minimum, but again, I haven't seen details.
Let me get this straight. The Rams picked up Von Miller.
Yep.
The Rams picked up Deshaun Jackson, right?
Yeah. No, actually, they released Deshaun Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so now they add Odell, and they have Odell, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and on defense they have Aaron Donald, Von Miller,
Ramsey,
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. And they're
here's
also
the thing, Andrew. Here's the thing.
And because of the here's the other there's one person you're forgetting too. That there's news speculating and circling right now in the 24-hour news cycle that Cam Akers might be making a late season return with his Achilles injury.
I mean, I think Henderson's solid. He's not.
I think any athletic running back in a Sean McVay system will do really well. I think it's designed that way. And not that they're not talented, but I just think that it's like, if you get a really talented guy there like Todd Gurley was, you're going to see like what you saw from Todd Gurley during.
Now here's the
awesome
thing,
years.
Andrew. Now here's the thing. They have packed this team to the fucking brim, right? With talent.
Oh yeah.
They're not going to make.
We don't know about OBJ.
Well, right. But they are not going to make it to the Super Bowl. They are not going to make it to the NFC Championship. I think that they will win one playoff game and that's it.
See, I think that they will. I think they will make it to the NFC Championship, but I also think I think they'll win. It really sucks because they could get a bye, right? And then technically they'll have made it to the second round of the playoffs, but they won't have won a playoff game, right? Because they were there with the bye. I think they're really good. The biggest fear that I have for them is that OBJ is a huge distraction. Because I know that everyone's like, oh, Odell has changed, but he got released from the Browns, and he's like, if you claim me and you're not a contender, there will be problems. Those are the words that were said by Odell,
right?
Like on record, and everyone's like, well, what do you mean there will be problems? So what he really means, he's just going to elect to get shoulder surgery and end his season. So like, obviously that scared everyone off, but like, you're a problem, dude.
Well, and his father's a problem.
Oh, his father's a problem as well.
Okay.
It's like we got some Lamar Ball type stuff.
Exactly. It reminds me a lot about Lamar Ball. Okay, so yeah, Cleveland kills Cincinnati. Yep. Let's go to Buffalo and Jacksonville. I cannot believe Jacksonville won this game. Now it was 6-9, which was the perfect score. Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions. He looked terrible this game. It's not like either team played well. They both played like shit. Just Buffalo gave the ball up a million times, and you know that
turnovers kill you in the NFL.
Verbal meme. All right, SpongeBob, let him have it. You can have it with SpongeBob.
Yeah, exactly.
With the ice cream and the
funny.
Fucking sea serpent. That's fucking Buffalo giving the ball to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's funny that you said verbal meme because I also have a verbal meme for this one. It's have you know the meme where it's the zoomed up picture of the guy on the pedestal and he's like got a gold medal or whatever, and he's like shaking the champagne and he's like spraying it everywhere, and then like it zooms out and he's like on the 45th pedestal step.
Right,
it's
he's
like,
in last place.
That's the Jags right now.
Here's another verbal meme. You know the verbal meme of Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man?
Yeah.
That's Josh Allen and Josh Allen pointing at each other. Josh Allen on the Jaguars and Josh Allen on the Bills. And then Josh Allen sacks Josh Allen.
It is funny that they're both named Josh Allen. That's
first time ever in NFL history that a person with the same name sacks a quarterback with the same name.
Houston, Miami, Dolphins win. It wasn't close. It was like 9-17. But I mean, Tua didn't play. He was pulled last second. So from his fractured finger,
almost started him in fantasy, but luckily I checked a few minutes before game time. Saved me.
Houston's bad. The Raiders, they lost to the Giants. I don't get
I don't think the Giants are as bad as people say.
I don't think the Giants are necessarily as bad as people say, but I think the Raiders are better than losing to the Giants.
Again, the Raiders started off hot. They started off hot, but Derek Carr, I think, threw 2 interceptions. Like, Derek Carr isn't that good. Like, he started off really hot, 400 plus yards, like 3 games in a row. He's fallen off.
They do have to be like they got to be getting close to emotionally exhausted. I mean, like just with your coach getting like canned, and then all the stuff that happened with that, and then your teammate going to prison. Because I'm sure all these guys are like, oh, I know Henry Ruggs, I love Henry Ruggs, and then this happens, like, oh my god, I can't fucking believe it. And it's just that will catch up with you eventually.
Well, yeah, they've had a lot of shit happen this season,
right? So and also this is their first year in Vegas too, so like a lot of them move. Like I mean, it's just there's a bunch of stuff stacked.
It's their second year.
Oh, is this their second year?
It's the first year with fans, but
that's right. It is the first year with fans.
They were in Vegas last year.
In the empty ship.
In the empty black pearl of the desert.
Chargers, they played the Eagles. Chargers won. The Eagles are bad, but I also think it's weird that I thought the Chargers were better than they were.
They're not. They're like
okay. They're like a good team, but they're not like a great team.
They're a good team, but they can get beat by bad teams, and they can upset really great teams.
Right.
But I truly believe they're middle of the road.
Green Bay and Kansas City. The Chiefs win. This is the most convincing.
This was an ugly game, dude. This was a fucking ugly game by 2 teams one, you had Jordan Love, who is fucking terrible.
Who's bad?
They traded up for him. Him.
I'll say this: they
traded up for him.
I'll say this: it doesn't matter. Like he could have like thrown 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and everyone would go, "Well, the Chiefs' defense is the worst in the league. He should be able to do that." And then he could have done what he did, and everyone will say he can't even beat the Chiefs' defense. Like no win situation.
I can think of one outcome that's better than the other. It's the outcome where he destroys the Chiefs, and people say, "Who cares? The Chiefs aren't that good." That's a much better scenario.
I agree.
Than he can only put up 6 points against or 10 points, whatever it was fucking terrible.
It turned out to be. I want to say, I think it was maybe it was 17. They scored a last minute touchdown too, which like helped his stats. But I mean, it was like it was all garbage time.
Devontae Adams looked like he was like about to have an aneurysm on the field because he was running
he looked
perfect
upset.
Routes, and he was wide open, and Jordan Love would just throw it nowhere near
Jordan
him.
Love was like panicking. But anyway, fuck that. We don't know yet if Aaron Rodgers is playing this week or if it's Jordan Love. So we'll see.
Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show, and he said that there is a very, very good chance that he's going to clear all protocols, which is by Saturday, and then he will play on Sunday.
Right. No, I mean, again, he's probably covering his bases, but I mean, if he can't say 100% yet, then I mean, it would really. I mean, who knows? Maybe like somebody gives him.
He's immunized. He's immunized.
That's what he says.
He's immunized. He took Hiawatha. He did Hiawatha. And
that's a car dealership, isn't it?
What's peyote? What's Hiawatha?
There you go.
What's
Hiawatha is a town in Iowa.
Shit. Well, it sounds like a drug. Yeah. It sounds like a drug. Hiawatha. That sounds like a drug.
Cardinals
they did peyote in Hiawatha.
In Hiawatha. It's hot in Topeka. So Arizona, they beat the San Francisco 49ers without Kyler, without D-Hop, without AJ Green, without JJ Watt.
Without any of their good players.
Like Cardinals are a very well-rounded team. The offense that Kingsbury has like installed over there, it seems to be like something that is really working for them. I think the 49ers are bad, and I think they have a bad head coach. I am tired of pretending they have a good head coach because they made it to the Super Bowl that one year. They have not had a good record since then. I know they've had a couple of injuries, but I hate the way he interacts with the media about his players. I hate the way that he interacts with the media about his game plan, and I hate how he doesn't take any criticism, it seems like, ever. So
Kyle Shanahan's on the hot seat.
I think he should be. I think so.
Nepotism, though. Nepotism.
That's true. NFL coaching, it tends to be that way. I'm actually surprised Adam Gase isn't in the league still. There should be a team that is. I would pay money to see like the Pro Bowl this year be coached with like a team that is Adam Gase, Fisher, and then Jason Garrett. That would be like my ideal. I would want to see that team. But yeah, Arizona's good. I mean, they're definitely going to make a playoff run.
They're not threatening. They're not threatening, though.
I think if they're all healthy, they're threatening. I mean, I think their defensive line is better than a lot of people give them credit for, even without Watt.
Who do you think is the most threatening NFL team so far this season?
Like threatening as like an upset team, like, or do you mean like threatening as in like I can guarantee that they're making Super Bowl?
You have to bet on one team to make the Super Bowl. Who are you picking?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I would agree. That the Buccaneers are the most threatening team. That's what I mean. The most threatening team is the team that's most likely to go all the way.
Gronk is apparently feeling good after his back spasms. It's trending like he's going to play this week. And Antonio Brown shed his walking boot. He was catching balls on the sideline today. He's most likely going to play.
Did he also freeze his foot?
No, actually, I think he froze all of his feet in Las Vegas. I think that he got that all out of his system.
Well, that's to counteract the desert. It's really hot.
The desert, the heat. It is hot there.
That's how it works. That's how science and math works. Cold versus hot.
Titans, Rams. I mean, the game was over basically at halftime. I mean,
it was terrible, Andrew.
Matthew Stafford threw a pick six, and then he threw another interception like on the goal line.
Andrew, your Rams. Your Rams.
Yeah, my Rams.
Your Rams that just got Odell.
Are you
Stafford.
telling me that I could be a Rams fan and not a Carolina fan? Because
listen, all I'm saying is you're so fucking hot on the Rams ever since they got
I'm
Stafford.
hot on Matthew Stafford. There's like a difference.
He looked like trash. And the Titans without Derrick Henry, with AP, with Adrian Peterson coming out of retirement, he said no to Dancing with the Stars and yes to scoring touchdowns in LA. They slapped. They slapped the Rams. Do
you think the Rams lose the rest of their games?
I'd have to look at their schedule.
The fact that you have to say that is insane. No, they do.
Listen, I have to look at their schedule. I
want
that question.
I want to do this. I want to do this.
Andrew, look, I think we should just move on.
Nope, I gotta know. I'm on a moment's notice. You have to just say win or loss. All right. 49ers.
Loss.
Packers.
That's a loss.
Rams. Or Jaguars.
The Rams would lose to themselves.
Jaguars.
That's a win. But
Cardinals.
But they just beat the Bills, so I mean, who knows?
Cardinals.
They would lose to the Cardinals.
Seahawks.
Lose to the Seahawks.
Vikings.
Wait, lose to the Seahawks if Russell is back, which I think he would be.
Yeah, he's supposed to be back this week. Vikings.
Vikings would probably make it very close, but then lose in overtime.
Ravens.
They would lose to the Ravens for sure.
49ers again.
They're going to lose the 49ers both times.
That's insane.
They don't even make the playoffs. They don't even. That's sad. That's kind of sad.
Final game.
Odell's dad's gonna raise hell.
Have an aneurysm. Chicago, Pittsburgh. This game was exciting because.
Go ahead, say it. No, say it.
It was exciting
because
of the score,
Andrew.
But I cannot believe the officiating. Like
it was an embarrassment to the NFL. I live in Chicago. I am not a Bears fan. I hate the Steelers. Yeah. have always been the worst. Like, I fucking hate them. Okay.
Them.
The officiating in that game was so fucking bad. And again, I hate both teams. I hate the Bears and I hate the Steelers. I don't give a shit what happens. Like, what, I don't care really what happens. But as a football fan watching that game Monday night, televised nationally, it was an embarrassment to the NFL.
So many young quarterbacks
the taunting rule.
That one's the biggest
Andrew,
one.
Can we talk about the taunting rule?
I feel like it's seriously, that is a rule that feels like it's designed, because there are no, like, it's all at the discretion of the judge, right? There is no way for you to go and be like, okay, check the tape. Did he taunt? There's no possible way to do that. So I don't know how they can't say to these refs, you have to be certain, because if he mouthed something,
the ref didn't throw the taunting flag until he went by him. Marsh ran by him, and then he hip checked him.
Yeah, the ref put his own body into that player. If the player does that, not only is he fined, he's ejected from that game, by the way.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure that's what Marsh said in interviews after the game.
Now,
he said that if the tables were turned, he'd be ejected from the game and fined. And the ref waited till he ran by him, made contact, then threw the flag for taunting because he looked in the direction of the Steelers bench, the Steelers sideline. That's insane.
Now, you know what really needs to happen is, like, they need to change the way that they do NFL refereeing. They need to make it salaried, not part-time. They need to make it so these guys have to take classes and shit. And they
I thought this is already a thing.
There are things that they need to do to meet, like, union standards, but they're not full-time employees. Like, if you're an NFL ref, like, you don't work in the off season. You don't. It's like it's not like the players who go and do, like, workouts and stuff. Like, you have time. It's like being a teacher. Like, you know, so it's and not even that, because you're only working, like, the games that you ref, and you only ref one game a week. So, like, they need to change the way that they pay these guys, because I also understand how, like, I feel like back in the day, like way back in the day, you're like, oh, I'm an NFL referee. It wasn't a hobby, but it definitely wasn't like what you did full time. I think you could do it full time now, but I don't know how. Like, you don't get paid a crazy amount. They need to make it so they get paid a little bit more, and they make it a full time, like, career option for these guys. Because I'm sick and tired of these things happening, and they need repercussions. They need to be able to be fined. They need to be able to be, like, removed from certain games. They need to be able to, like, there's all these things that need to happen.
I thought they do get paid a lot. I want to say I thought that NFL referees make six figures.
Let me look up here. I was under the impression that they are not. Oh, that is a fuck ton of money if that's correct. I guess I don't trust that site. How much money is
Wait, what's the amount?
Well, you know how Google will just auto complete at the top.
Okay, but what's the amount?
It's $205,000. And if they're only part time and making $205,000, that's
Robbie's shaking
worse.
his head.
That's fucking insane.
Can we hold on? We haven't even talked to Robbie this entire episode. Can we get a Robbie cam for a second? We need a Robbie cam. Robbie, what do you think about NFL referees making $200,000 in a season?
I mean, if that's all you have to do is make shitty calls and get paid six figures, I'll do that all day.
We need to talk to Robbie more. Robbie needs to be more part of this podcast because that's a great analysis.
Robbie, what's the first thing you'd buy with $205,000?
A pony.
Amazing. Well, anyway, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they win it. It's at 27-29. I think they scored 29 points, something like that. It's like whatever.
They won, but I mean, again, first off, that taunting gave the ball back to them, and they were able to kick a field goal, and that actually was the make or break difference because Chicago had to score a touchdown at the end of the game, and then they did, but then the Steelers were only 3 points behind. Actually, maybe I don't even fucking remember.
I don't remember specifically. I know it was shit. It was bad.
I mean, if this happened, first off, if this happens in the playoffs, the NFL is going to have a mob on their hands. Could you imagine that deciding the fate of a whole season in the playoffs for a team? I mean, I think they need to stop. Change the rule in the offseason. Tell the fucking officials Stop calling this.
Well,
stop calling this right fucking now.
We knew at the beginning of the year because they're always way harder on calls like in the preseason because they're testing out new calls, and like that first week there were so many taunting penalties, and everyone was like, this is fucked. Like this is not going to end well, obviously, and it has not. So maybe they should listen to the fans. I don't know. All right, that's it. You want to move into the pick'em game and talk about the Thursday night preview?
Yes, and can we talk about how I'm killing you in the pick'em game? I'm killing you in the pick'em game. We can
after we talk about the Thursday Baltimore-Miami match.
Wait, no. We just recapped Week 9. So tell the viewers
you want to know
what the score is.
It is 64 Ian, 58 Andy.
That's a pretty big lead, Andrew.
That is a very big lead. Although it's nothing I can't overcome.
Okay, well, let the pick'em for Week 10 begin. Okay. Starting with tonight.
Baltimore Ravens, 8-point favorites.
I saw 7.5, Andrew.
They are currently 8-point. I have DraftKings up right now.
Okay, fine. We'll do live.
Okay, fine. What do you mean? We're always doing it live.
Okay, fine. We'll do live spreads. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
I'm still taking, even though I know that I'm terrible at Thursday night spread pick'ems, I'm going to pick the Ravens at -8.
Yep, we are both taking the Ravens at -8. Next up, Buffalo and the Jets, or the fuck is that spread?
Andrew, you need to come
11 points. They're alive. I'm not going to come and I'm not going to put 10 points on. How much more time do you want me to take? Because I can edit the doc. I can put.
That's what I want you to do.
You want me to take more time editing?
Simple. I'm pretty sure it's that simple. That's what I want you to do.
So when I come in and make this doc that I'm the only one who makes, by the way, I'm the only one who gives a shit about our scheduling.
I'm just saying that's what I need you to do.
I'm going to come in and I'm going to put 7 in. And honestly, I should come in and make this. I should make this on Monday after the Monday night game.
Yes.
And then we should use those lines. We shouldn't update our lines.
No, you should be updating the lines every day on the spreadsheet.
There's no spreadsheet.
On the doc that you make, you need to update the spreads every day. I think that's only fair.
Are you taking Buffalo at a -11?
I mean, after this, the smart play is that you're going to take the Bills and you're going to say this is a bounce back game for the Bills after they got embarrassed by the Jags. And the Jets are still probably playing with their third string, right?
No, Mike White's going to play.
I'm taking the Jets.
You're taking the Jets?
I'm going
to take Buffalo.
I love me some Mike White. I'm taking the Jets.
All right.
To cover.
Tampa Bay. To cover at plus 11. Tampa Bay, they are 9-point favorites against Washington.
I will take Washington football team.
Really? Okay, I'm taking Tampa Bay. So.
My butt's asleep. My butt's actually asleep. This is actually a really weird feeling.
That's a stroke.
I smell oranges.
Yeah.
Isn't that a sign too?
No, it's toast. You smell burnt toast.
That's almost, I think that's actually what I smell. I confused it.
That's yep. You're dyslexic too.
This is
Dallas, 8-point favorites against Atlanta.
Dallas is 8-point favorites against Atlanta. Give me Atlanta.
I'm also going to take Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Wish I could type. Holy shit. Okay. So Tennessee, they are 2.5-point favorites against the Saints.
Yeah, give me the Titans. I fucking hate the Titans, and I fucking hate Mike Vrabel, but give me the Titans.
I hate the Titans too. I don't know if it's been announced who's the starting quarterback for the Saints. I wonder if it's Taysom.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Titans as well because I don't know. If Taysom were starting, I think I would have gone the Saints. But okay, the Colts, they play Jacksonville. The Colts are 10-point favorites.
Give me Jacksonville.
Give me the Colts.
Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor.
Urban Meyer. All right.
Fingering co-heads.
The Steelers are 8-point favorites against the Lions. As per his tradition, Robbie, how do you feel about this game?
I don't.
I feel nothing.
I feel nothing.
I don't like Pittsburgh, but
good.
It's the Lions. I can't say anything. They're just disappointing.
That's true. They are.
I'm actually going to take the Lions to cover.
I think I have to take.
You're a fool.
I have to take Pittsburgh.
Andrew, this is going to be a big
the reason I have to take Pittsburgh, and I'll tell you why. I'll let you change your answer even if this sways you, but I just want you to think about the Eagles and the Lions game. That's all I want you to think about.
I don't care.
All right. Cleveland, New England. Cleveland, they are actually underdogs. Patriots are favored by 2.5.
Give me New England.
I also took New England.
Took?
In my 10-team parlay. I was going to take them.
Past tense, or?
Past tense. Let's see here. Minnesota and the Chargers. Chargers are 3-point favorites.
Give me the Chargers. Yeah, give me the Chargers. I like the Chargers.
I also really like the Chargers, but I'm going to take Minnesota because they've come so close in so many games.
This is going to be a huge week for us. One way or another.
I know. That's why I say I have to try to claw back, right? I mean, I guess technically you are having to pick first, so I could just keep picking the same ones as you all week, and then just designate myself to 2 that I feel strongly about. But I like to go for it all. I'd like to win this.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we're in week 10, so go for it all.
Carolina and Arizona. Arizona, they're 10.5-point favorites.
Is Kyler Murray back?
Yeah.
Is anybody back? Is DeAndre Hopkins back? Is AJ Green back? Is JJ Watt back?
Let me see. Kyler Murray injury. Let me take a look here. It looks, I think, like Kyler is going to play. Sam Darnold, Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is out of Arizona. Oh, he's still out with the ankle. So Kyler might not play.
Who are they playing?
Carolina. So Carolina's going to play PJ Walker, and the Arizona Cardinals are going to play Colt McCoy.
Give me the Cardinals.
I will take Carolina only because 10.5 points is a lot.
What if I took Carolina though?
Do you want to take Carolina? We could both take Carolina.
No, I don't. But I just wanted to see if you would have immediately taken the Cardinals then.
No. I would have, because I think no matter what, PJ Walker's better than Sam Darnold. The Carolina Panthers have weapons like DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson and Christian McCaffrey. They are good players. I think Sam Darnold is just broken. So
what's that bear doing?
That's Sir Purr.
Sir Purr, you call him that?
Denver and the Eagles. Denver are 2.5-point favorites.
Give me Denver. Give me death.
Yep, we're both taking Denver. In my 10-team parlay article, I was like, I don't think Denver's good, but I think Philly is terrible. So I just
they are.
Can't
Eagles are trash.
Yeah,
they are.
I was waiting for you to finish
city.
something there, but you're just like, they're trash.
They are trash city. Now I am afraid to insult Philadelphia because their fans are lunatics, and I am scared for my life.
They'll put batteries
sometimes.
and snowballs.
Yes, I'm afraid for my life sometimes when I talk about them in a bad light. However, I have to be truthful. They are a bad team.
Let's see here. The Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. Packers are favored by 3 points.
This is all going to come down to whether or not Aaron Rodgers plays. I'm going to say he does play, and I'm going to say the Packers are going to cover. I mean, it all comes down to Aaron Rodgers, right? It all comes down to Aaron
does.
Rodgers.
And here's the thing. I am actually going to take Seattle because Russ is back.
Wait, Russ is back?
Yeah.
Shit.
Do you want to change? You didn't know that, so did you want to change?
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that, but I still think even with Russell Wilson, I think I'm going to bet on Rodgers coming back.
Sure.
He's immunized.
Kansas City. He's immunized. Kansas City, 2.5-point favorites over the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, man, dude. Oh, God.
Divisional Sunday night game.
Oh, I'll take the Chiefs.
I'm also taking the Chiefs.
But, I mean, you know what we're doing, right?
Oh, yeah, we're giving them the benefit of the doubt. That's what we're doing, which
we've been doing it all season.
I don't know how you – because tell me right now, we have not hit a point in the season where if the Kansas City Chiefs went off for 44 points and they looked like their old offense, anyone would go, that's weird. No one would say that. They'd be like, oh, they figured it out. That's all they would say because they're the Chiefs. 5 more games like this, and we're like at the very end of the season, and they will have legitimately been a bad team. Like, then we'd be like, okay, maybe next season we have to like figure out what the problem was. But
yeah,
the Rams are 3.5 point favorites against the 49ers.
Is this a Monday night game?
Monday night game
against the 49ers.
Yep.
And what's the spread?
3.5. The most embarrassing thing you've ever seen. And I'm making everything worse by repeating it into the microphone.
I know I was joking around earlier.
No, that's fine.
No, I was just joking around. I think the Rams are going to win.
Yeah, both of us have the Rams. All right. So we've got our picks in. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Have you noticed my mustache?
Yes.
No shave November.
Yeah, as you could tell, I'm kind of a mess.
I think all 3 of us, me, you, and Robbie, are all participating in No Shave November.
Yeah, I'm actually the thing that sucks is my beard was already I should have trimmed like October 31st just a little bit so that way like it wasn't because I this is gonna get like unruly in another. Like,
should we all just do mustaches for next week's episode?
I have actually never rocked just a mustache. If I do it though, you do know I'm getting like the whole like it's gonna be down to here. I'm gonna.
I love the Fu Manchu.
Exactly. Yeah.
Robbie, have you ever rocked just a mustache?
I have not. My uncle has rocked one the entire time I've known him. So
I think you should follow in his footsteps. And
I think Hillary would lock me out of the house until I got rid of it.
That's funny. She would.
She definitely would.
So here is one thing that we talked about last week that we talked about like watching more movies and stuff and like discussing that on the podcast. I haven't seen it yet, but I wasn't originally when I was looking into this, it wasn't playing anywhere in Iowa. It was only playing in Illinois, or at least that was the closest place. But there's a new Wes Anderson movie called The French Dispatch that looks awesome. And I'm going to go see it.
Wes Anderson is a great director.
He is. He's amazing. He's one of my favorite directors. And I think that I'm going to see it before the next episode. So if other people see it, we will discuss it and do another podcast.
There's a good chance I do not see it. However, I will watch my other favorite Wes Anderson films and come prepared just to talk about.
Oh yeah,
we'll have a Wes Anderson segment.
While we're just really quick, what are your favorite Wes Anderson films?
My favorite Wes Anderson film of all time, without a doubt, is Grapefruit.
God damn. Grapefruit, you fucking got me.
Got him.
Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city,